want to talk about today, whatever it is. You don't have to be a speaker, whatever, but it's something that you want to do, pursue a profession, or you have especially when it comes to, self-employment, like you have a vision, you have you have a dream that you want to do. And, one thing that I see, it's not everybody, but one thing that I see is I see people try too hard. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about effort. I'm not talking about, praying. I'm not talking about, being yourself. You should always go hard on those things. But I see a lot of people try too hard to impress people. They try too hard to act like they're at a place where they're not. And, they fall in love with the perception. We live in a social media era where perception is everything until your reality gets exposed. We try so hard with filters and all these things. We're programmed to put up a perception to make people believe, that we're doing something that we're not. And that's people always ask me the key. And I say the first thing is you got to be honest with yourself, because perception ain't doing nothing. You fooling everybody else, but your life is still being in the same place. You know what I'm saying? When you go home at night, you know what's real. You know what I'm saying? You can't fool yourself and God. You can fool social media, you can fool everybody else, but at the end of the day, the results will eventually expose you, will eventually show up. And results aren't everything. Sometimes your results aren't where they want to be, but at the end of the day, if you're really living a certain lifestyle, if you're really doing a certain thing. So I kind of relate to this, and some of you might can relate. I know with my son, a few days ago, I told my son, asked me, can he go outside, right? Can he go outside to play? I was like, all right, cool. But I thought about it. I was like, well, did you clean up your room? And he was like, nah, I didn't clean up my room. I said, well, go clean up your room. Okay. And I knew his room, and I used to be like this too growing up. I knew his room was like a 45-minute clean job. His room was pretty messy. So I knew it was going to take some time to clean his room properly. And so Tristan goes up there, cleans his room, and he comes back down within 15 minutes. He's like, all right, Dad, I'm about to go outside. And I'm thinking to myself, that was pretty quick. Either he's like a beast at cleaning or something's up. And I started to think about myself and what I used to do, and my mom used to tell me to clean my room. So I go up there. It's so funny. I go up there and so I start searching, right? I'm like, he probably put stuff under his bed. And what do I know? It's a whole bunch of mess under his bed. I go to the closet. I'm like, he probably put stuff in his closet. And what do I know? It's a whole bunch of stuff in his closet. So he didn't really clean his room. He just put stuff, quote unquote, swept it under the rug. That's what I used to do. I know some of you used to do that too. So you can hurry up and go outside. So I call him up there. I say, Tristan, man, clean up your room for real, man. And so the reason I'm telling you that story is because a lot of our lives are like that, right? We want to put off the perception of having a clean life, right? We want to put off the perception of success, whatever the world's definition of success. I have my own definition, but I'm gonna just use that definition so we all can relate. We want to put up that, right? We want to act like we have a clean life when we have a lot of mess in our life, but we always want the quick route. So what do? We sweep things under the rug, right? Even with relationships. On social media, we'll put up this perception like everything is good, right? So we can please the world. Like I always say, we please people that could care less about us anyway, that really our problems are their entertainment. And so we sweep it under the rug and we don't deal with those issues. And what usually happens is that stuff, like Tristan, when he swept under the bed, if he wouldn't clean it up, his room would have smelled like trash, like straight up. And a lot of times in our life, that stench starts to come off. We might look good, we might look clean from the outside, but we got a stench in our life because we haven't took care of the mess in our life. And so Tristan had the perception, right, of a clean room, but in reality, his room wasn't clean. And so I kind of wanted to tell that story just to inspire somebody out there. It's okay. It's okay to not have it all together. It's okay to not be at a certain point. I had to start, you see the bags in the back? I wanted to show you how it's real. You see us on the road, two of us. You know what I'm saying? This is reality. Some people think, oh, Trent, you have a big team and you take planes everywhere. This is reality.
You got the entourage.
Yeah, like I got a big, nah, this is reality. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, you got to go get it. You know, I'm not going to go into whole detail of what I do behind the scenes or what we do. We do a lot. That's a reality. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people in my shoes would, you know, try to get on the planes and, you know, do all these nice things to make you guys believe that they're somewhere where they're not. I don't believe in that, because I know at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and try to please people if that means that I'm draining my own life. You know what I'm saying? So fall in love, I'm not going to say fall in love with your reality. Of course, fall in love with perception, but you have to embrace your reality, because you'll never beat a reality. You'll never get over a reality that you're choosing to run from. My quote that I always tell you is what? You'll never win your war by running from your battle. So it's okay to start small. Like when I first started speaking, literally it was like 10 people there. Like I can't get spoiled by 1,000 people showing up. The point is that I'm getting a chance to impact lives. That's all that I care about. But see, a lot of people wouldn't, you know, a lot of people in quote unquote my position, that's like, oh, that's a failure to them. It's never a failure if I get to impact. I don't care if it's one person there, straight up. You know, so the point I'm just trying to make today, man, is don't ignore your reality. Don't let people make you live this perception. And another thing too that I want to say is take advantage of opportunity. You know, I'm not gonna get too detailed, but I'll just use me for example. You know, when I first started, even today, I would do so many things for free because I knew that this was my life and my purpose. You know, I would go anywhere, schools, it didn't matter. I still do those things. Time is now the thing for me. You know, I don't want to spend too much time around for my family. So you have to get to positions, you know, where you make those decisions in your life. But I just run across a lot of people that they say they want something. They say they want something, but then they're picky about the opportunity. Now, I'm not saying if the opportunity is against your standards, against your values, yes, do not take it. But I see a lot of people who are picky about the opportunity, and like that's their greatest prison, because they want to act like they're something or act like they're somewhere, because they are somebody, everybody is, but they want to act like they're somewhere when they're actually not there, because like I said, they want to please social media, please people. And so to the people out there, just my advice is like, if an opportunity shows up in your face for you to share your gift, go do it, because you never know the blessing in that opportunity. Like when I would go speak for free anywhere, that allowed me more opportunity to speak, because as soon as I spoke, guess what? Somebody else inboxed me and said, hey, I was at this event. I want you to speak at this event. That's called the grind. It's called humbling yourself. Some of us, the reason we're not at where God has called us to be or wants us to be, because we too arrogant. You know, we're not humble enough. Humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the why you started, if it was even a good reason anyway. Because some of us, we way too much business minded instead of purpose minded. So, I don't know, I just want to share that on the road, man, because when I'm driving out here, I'm like, man, like, I just reflect a lot when I'm on the road. I just like, I see a lot of people that just pass up opportunity, or they act like they're too good for an opportunity, or, you know, I don't want to do that because I should be getting paid this. You know, I should be getting paid that. And you can't allow those things to control, you know, what you pursue and what you do. Because like I said, you never know, man. My biggest blessings, honestly, as far as progression in rehab time and my speaking, was things that I did for free. I'm going to be real with you. So just humble yourself. Like I said, I'm not telling you to take any opportunity presented. I don't want you to take that from this message. But, you know, if it's an opportunity for you to go somewhere, a place you've never been, for you to go somewhere and get in front of a new audience or whatever it may be, whatever you do, you know, go do it. You know, step out, humble yourself. If you're a music artist, go out there and pass out your CDs. Like, I see that a lot too. It's like nobody supports me or nobody listens to my music, but we sitting at home not going out there and working because we're afraid to be embarrassed. Like, I don't care about being embarrassed. When the purpose that God put on my heart, I don't care about being embarrassed. I don't care about failing. I don't care about looking stupid. I'm not trying to please man. I can care less about what people think. That's the problem. You know, we want to fake it till we make it. Whoever said that is stupid. Don't fake it till you make it, man. Because when you do make it, they're going to realize you fake. Be who you are. Take the slow road. consistency, commitment. Nothing's gonna happen overnight. That's the thing too. It's like, Trent, I've been working hard for 2 months. I'm like, what? You know, you gotta sign up forever. Yeah, I just want more people like to just be who they are. And I know sometimes you don't know who you are, but discover that, because you know, that's your greatest gift. You don't have to be somebody else. Like, I see that a lot too. It's like, you see somebody else being successful and like, or whatever, you see somebody that's somewhere. It's okay to be influenced. Like, we're creatures of influence. We're humans. You're influenced ever since you were born. But the thing is, you have to have a filter process, right? You can be influenced, but don't be influenced so much that you become them, you know, because the world needs you. People need you. They need your purpose. They need your voice. They need your mindset. They need your perspective. And my mom always told me, I'll never forget this. Like, it's the most simplest advice ever, or the simplest advice. I guess you can put most and simplest together, right? Okay, but the simplest advice ever is that my mom said, there's people, Trent, that you are called to reach that nobody else can reach. And that goes for everybody. And I'll never forget that. And you can just think about it as music, right? We all have, let's just be real, right? There's music artists out there that some of you guys think are terrible. Like, even me, I'm like, how does this person like have a following? But the thing is, their music is for someone. And it is what it is, you know? And so you got to find your voice and have confidence in your voice and have faith in your voice that it will reach the people that it needs to reach. Can you be consistent without being content?
Yeah, being consistent is hard sometimes. There's no contentment in that. Like, it pushes you.
Yeah. I don't think you should be content, but I think you should be thankful. And content means, that word, just for me, that word, I wouldn't use that word, but I say you have to be thankful because, and grateful while you're being consistent. Because when you're not, you're always thinking that you need something else. It's not always about adding more to your life. I would say, you know, in your journey, it's always to be thankful and appreciate where you're at and what you have, and always realize that's enough, what you do have. But, you know, as moving forward with your life, it's okay to move forward, to grow yourself, you know, but don't always think that you have to add more to your life to become something, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's about subtracting. Sometimes it's not about adding to your life. Sometimes it's about subtracting from your life, because when you subtract certain things, you'll automatically add certain things. Outside your comfort zone is where change takes place. I always say that, you know, even when I speak, it's never comfortable. You know, it's not. I'm going to speak into a room in front of people, even though they support me, in front of people I never met before for the most part. And it's always kind of uncomfortable in a sense, but you know, I understand my mission, I understand my purpose, and so I've gotten very comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I know that's where change and growth definitely takes place. Can a heart change to truly love someone? I've been with a man 5 years on and off, but he was consumed by attention on Facebook by females when I gave up. He now says he loves me. Is it real? I can't speak for him. I would say that, because I'm never going to give you advice as far as like to make a decision, because I think you know if it's real or not, because you're asking the question. Okay, but one thing that I will tell you, there's a possibility it's real for sure. But one thing I would tell you is consistency will let you know. So, you know, when you go through a situation with people, and this is in friendships or whatever, when somebody says that they change, I would listen with my eyes, and I would listen consistently with my eyes and not my ears. So that means that I'm watching their actions, and not just how they treat me, but how they treat their own life. Because, you know, one thing about it is that when somebody wants you back in their life, and please don't just tie this to relationships. This is anything. You know, I hate when people put me in that box. So, but it can be for relationships. But when somebody wants you back in their life, they're always going to change to pull you back, right? They're going to do whatever to pull you back or to gain your trust, whatever. So when somebody's told me that they're changed, I don't look at how they treat me, because that's a given. Like, that can be real, it couldn't be real. But I look at how they've changed different aspects of their life. Like, are they still doing certain things that was destructive to their life? You know, are they still around a certain crowd that was bad for their life? And so when you look at change, you got to look at a holistic change with somebody, not just how they treat you, because they could just be doing that just to pull you back, you know, to gain your trust. So your question, he could change, but you have to know that. And I always say, you got to consistently question something, then you might have your answer. I'm struggling with finding my purpose and figuring out who I am. How did you come to find your purpose and who God meant for you to be? When it comes to purpose, I feel like it's something that you don't have to search for. I feel like that's where we make a mistake, is we search in the world for validation. You know, we search. Now, people can speak into your life. God can definitely bring people to help reveal what he's called you to do. He did that for me. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a pastor told me that I would be speaking across the world, and I looked at him like he was crazy, because at that time I wasn't speaking nowhere. But you know, that prophecy on my life definitely came true. But I would tell you, for one, especially at your age, or I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm pretty sure you're, you know, older, as far as 20s, maybe 30s, whatever. I would tell you that a lot of times what we've been through is a good indication of what God wants us to help others get through. And so your past pain can reveal your purpose to you. It did that with me, because now you're qualified because you've been through it. Now you can speak with confidence, and now you can really help people. You can relate to people. You can put yourself in people's shoes. Like, people always say, Trent, I feel like that you know my life. I don't know your life at all, but I know struggle well. You know, I've been through those things. And so I just think you should disconnect from everything as far as like outside stuff. And if you were the only person on this earth, like, of course that would never happen, but if you were, you know, what is it that you would want to do? You know, what is it that you feel like God has called you to do? And a lot of times in the process, it will be revealed to you. So just think about it. Just think about your past and what you've been through. And I think that can be a good indication of what the purpose is. And honestly, when it's different avenues, but if you're a believer, your purpose is to lead people closer to God, right? Closer to Christ, in the way he's called you to do it. That's just what I feel. Let's get it.